Bring us in, Chris.
You ready?
Yep.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to a Christmas edition I should say,
The Heavyset podcast.
the Heavyset podcast.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry freaking Christmas. So, you know what's weird about this setup?
What?
I feel like extremely vulnerable right now for some reason.
Because we don't have anything covering us up. We don't have a table. We don't have mic stands, laptops. So I noticed whenever we would record with your setup, you'd always be fidgeting with that laptop.
Well, you have to keep it updated, and that whole thing's a disaster.
And you hiding behind it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cloak. It's a comfort thing. But, yeah, I'm going to have to get a new laptop, by the way. So this is why we're, be with this setup for, I guess, the time being. Of course,
Yeah.
Hell, when's the last podcast we've done? It's been a while.
It was before Halloween.
I've actually made several. Or I say several. I've made a few, but they've all malfunctioned.
Yeah, I know.
Me and Ryan, actually, Ryan Buns, when he come down for Thanksgiving, we recorded a whole episode. Couldn't use it.
Because the
audio jacked up. Somebody's going to have to get a beefier laptop. But anyway, that's besides the point. What have you been up to?
Absolutely nothing.
I wish I could
Work.
say.
That's about it.
I can't say the same. I've just been catting around, living life.
I mean, always tomcatting around.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's what I do. I mean, really, same old, same old.
Cat out on the prowl. That's Chris.
Wherever the wind blows, I go, Justy Bug. But we just wanted to, I don't know. It's been a while. It's Christmas. Hell, I feels like I haven't seen you. And
we hadn't really hung out since the last time we did a podcast.
Well, how long is it? Yeah, that is true. I don't think I've seen you maybe here and there a couple of times. I didn't see you for Thanksgiving, did I?
The podcast is what brings us together and tears us apart.
Tears us apart. So I won't see him for another 6 months after this.
Yeah. After Christmas, this is it. I'll get back with you at Arbor Day.
We should do an Arbor Day podcast.
And I don't think, I was gone. I went to the beach on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot you're at the beach. Well, how could I forget? And I was watching your dogs.
Yeah, you're coming over and watching the pups.
And that was always it's always a weird thing watching your dogs. Your dogs are so feisty.
Yeah.
And they're so rambunctious.
They're always wound up whenever you come in.
Well, the first time I went and watched his dogs when he went on vacation a year ago or whatever, I took him out. So I took him out both at the same time because I'm lazy. He's got two little dash hounds, whatever the hell you want to call them.
Dachshunds, weenie dogs.
Weenie dogs. And they're so freaking fast and rambunctious and crazy. Well, I was like, I don't want to take him out one at a time. I just want to get this over with in one shot. I remember taking him out, and if you recall at this time, this is when my wrist was broken, so my arm was in a cast. I want to take him outside. These freaking dogs are running around me like crazy. I am all tangled up in your front yard, and they drag my shorts down. So I'm completely in my boxers. My legs are completely tied together with two dog leashes.
I live in the middle of town.
There's people outside too that can see this, and I'm like, good Lord. And I've got a messed up arm, but I can't let go of this chain. Because if these dogs go, they're gone.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, what the hell? So I had to duck walk, waddle with my boxers, pants around my ankles, back to the house. Complete disaster.
Yeah, I remember because you called me. I was getting ready. I was in Dallas. We were staying the weekend or something, and you called me and you're like, Justin, there's a problem with the dogs. They are so wrapped up. I think the first time you called me, I didn't answer because I was driving. Yeah. And it went to voicemail, and I could just hear you come on, dogs, come on, come on, pups, we gotta get this together.
I know. I was trying to coach them up. I couldn't figure out how to get them untangled. I don't know how the hell they tied this knot this bad, but they did. And I was like, I can't deal with this. Like, what am I going to do? I'm all tangled up. I figured it out. How much have you used that exercise bike?
I've used it once.
For those of you that can't see this, I ordered an exercise bike a couple of years ago and never even rode it. And I just gave it to Justin.
That seat hurts my.
Took us.
Yeah, I need some sort of pad for it.
I might try to see if I can. Maybe I can get some use out of that. If I can
Maybe.
handle the seat. Anyway, we both know it's not going to happen. But let's see, it's Christmas time. Are you excited about the Hawthorne festivities today?
Always excited.
You know I'm on the hook for pizza nachos.
Yeah, I've heard this.
You missed my whole Thanksgiving deviled egg experience.
How did that go?
I think it went very well. I think nobody had faith in me. Nobody had faith that I would pull through on the old deviled eggs.
Everybody always counting you out, Chris.
Very true. And guess who come through?
Ryan.
No, I did. The hell with rye buns, even though we love you. Speaking of rye buns, no, I'm just kidding.
Let's dog Ryan for half an hour.
Let's talk about Ryan since he's not here. No, they turned out great. Nobody had faith. Everybody was dying on me. So I made the whole theme of this. Of course, you know me. I'm all or nothing.
Yeah.
We'll get into that here in a minute, I guess. But this whole theme of this past Thanksgiving was deviled eggs. And I pulled them off. They were delicious, I thought. A little bit too salty.
I don't like eggs, really.
You would have liked these, I bet. They were bacon heavy.
I doubt it.
They were bacon heavy. You love bacon.
Yeah.
A little bit of horseradish in there. Oh, you would have loved it. Sweet and sweet relish.
Take you back.
It's really good. But now it's all about the pizza nachos, and I might be making jalapeno popper dip.
Why might you be making it?
I don't know if Dad's going to make it or not. If Dad doesn't want to make it, I'm going to make it. But he said he might.
Dad said he'd probably make it last night when I was with him.
Well, we can just go ahead and get into this.
He talked about that during the whole pizza fiasco.
How he didn't want me to make it? Wait a minute. Dad said that he didn't want me to make that dip.
He said he was unsure about it.
What?
Says you're a all or nothing type of guy.
That is true.
Mostly in all.
Well, here's my thing is I go big or I go home. Chrissy Poo is either 2 steps in or I'm not going to be in at all. That's how I am with everything in life.
Yeah.
Because I want it to be, I've always been this way and it's a problem. I want it to be special. I want it to be
the highlight of the party.
Exactly.
Everybody's like, man, did you have those pizza nachos Chris had? He had so much stuff on it. They were to die for.
It is funny you bring that up because I'm glad he's telling you what he kind of told me. He wasn't a big fan of the pizzas that I made.
Yeah.
The whole thing that this started from is that I made these pizzas.
You posted them on the Facebook page, right?
Yeah. And these pizzas probably weighed like 15 pounds a piece. Like they had so many toppings, which I love that about it. But the crust was a tad bit doughy because I put so much on it. But anyway, but Dad was like, did you have to put so many toppings on this? I was like, yeah, I was trying to make it good because I put it like all the way out to the edge.
Yeah.
Like no crust. Like that's the way I like it. But it was just
a little bit doughy in the middle.
Yeah, like one piece was so thick, like you couldn't like it would have fed a whole football team. It was just such a hearty pizza.
And you ate half the pizza.
That I did. You didn't even have any of it, did you?
No.
You didn't have any of this last one?
No. I wasn't invited.
Well, next time I will. This last one I did sausage. The sausage and jalapenos. Dad goes, between the 5 pounds of sausage and the 3 pounds of peppers, I'd say the pizza got lost a little bit. But I don't know why I'm that way, but I've always been that way. I go big or I go home.
Yeah. It's like, I talked to some of my buddies about this. We doctor up Totinos. Mm-hmm. You get a Totinos, but then you add your own toppings onto it. And then half the time the pizza don't really cook right because you got so much other crap on it.
I can't even really eat Totino's. I'm such a snob nowadays. It's hard for me just to eat Totino's anymore. But I
Crazy.
had it so much growing up, though.
Yeah.
But
I can't believe you don't like Totino's.
I just had it. It's like ramen noodles. That's like the ramen noodles of the pizza world. It's cheap. That's what we have growing up because it was cheap. But I had so much of it, I'm just tired of
Yeah.
it.
What gets me is people probably don't care about this, about us talking Totino's for an hour, but Totino's have like doubled in price here recently.
Everything's doubled
And
in
I
price.
can't spend $2.50 on a Totino's.
That's why I need to upgrade to a Tony's pizza
Yeah, I know. That's what I do.
or Tombstone. Tombstone's not a bad deal.
Or a Red Baron.
Red Baron's also great. That's what we need to do, a frozen pizza contest. But here's what we do. We try each of the frozen pizzas. How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Well, that would be the taste test, I guess, trying them.
By the way, you know what's funny is I'm incapable of being normal. The other day, when we were visiting mom and dad at our parents' house, C.O. Justy Bug's getting a little gray around the beard.
Yeah.
And then you were like, my chest hair's also got some gray hairs. So I made him pull his shirt up and show me his gray hairs.
Yeah, mom and dad were looking on in disgust.
Like, what's wrong? Like, what's funny
It,
is
it didn't help the fact that I was like this far away from your face.
I kept on rubbing my hands over it.
Yeah.
You got the perfect nips I've ever seen.
Why? Why do you say that?
You do.
Why are we even bringing this up?
Because people need to know.
Nobody cares.
I think people would care.
My wife's about to walk in and be like, "What are you guys talking about? Why are we bringing up Justin's body parts?"
You got some good. You got better nips than Ryan does. Better than I do.
Well, thanks.
But
I
anyway,
appreciate it.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know, Justin. I'm incapable of being normal. It's just something in me. That's the way I've been my entire life.
Oh, my kids ask me why I'm so weird because I do stuff because I think it's funny, and they're like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm just dying out laughing. I was like, I think it's funny.
I'm the same way with all my the friends in my life kind of know and get me now. The ones that I actually am around, so they get it. But every once in a while, I pull one on, and they're like, "All right, can't you just be normal for like a minute?" I'm incapable of it.
My favorite thing I've been doing it for a few years now. Anytime something weird gets brought up, like just say for instance, Elijah's like, "Man, I love chicken pot pie." I'm like, you know what? They used to call me chicken pot pie back in high school. It'd be like the weirdest thing.
That is the same thing like I told you. I don't know what I told your daughter, Delaney, but I was like, well, she's on crutches right now. And I was like, I remember when I was on crutches there for a while in high school, and they called me Crutches the Houlihan.
Yeah.
She's like, do what? Like, nobody actually called me that.
What do you seasoning that with? Mrs. Dash? You know, they used to call me Mrs. Dash back in high school. I just get a look. Now it's like I start into it, and Elijah's like, "Stop! Just don't even say it. I don't care what they used to call you in high school." But anyways, it's Christmas time, Chris.
Yeah, it's Christmas. As you can tell, we're so ill prepared.
Yeah, as
Story of our life.
always.
Story of our life. I'm full of empty promises. We were going to be consistent with this. We fell off the map.
We were consistent for a while.
We were a little bit. If I wouldn't have been having so many freaking problems with equipment stuff. But as always, I say I got plans for the new year.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But Christmas, it is Christmas time. Justy Bug, what do you want to talk about? Or getting into this Christmas shenanigans here.
What's some Christmas memories that you have?
Christmas memories. I remember, those cookies that usually we make every year. It's like a staple of the holidays. It's the Ritz crackers. You put peanut butter in the middle, cover them in chocolate almond bar.
Yes.
You know, that's a Hawthorne family staple.
Yeah.
We're not having them this year, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
And the cookies that mom has made, I've been putting a huge dent in them.
Also, something Dad brought up yesterday.
What did Dad say?
Dad said they got up and they were, shuffling around getting ready for the Williamson family Christmas.
Yeah.
They go, there's this giant, Tupperware that was, when I was there the night before, was filled to the brim with cookies.
It's pretty full.
Dad's like, half of this thing was gone. And Mom was like, what happened to all the cookies?
It wasn't that much, but I did eat. Every time I'd walk in the kitchen, I just grab a few. But I kept on going in and going in. I was like, man, they're the best. They're my favorite cookies of all time.
I'm shocked that Dad's response wasn't, yeah, I asked Chris about it, and Chris said, oh, Justin grabbed them before he left.
Well,
Because it's a known fact that whoever isn't there, that's who gets the blame. So I was sure
before
that's
you
what I
left
would
that
hear.
day, you did grab some.
I grabbed 3. Yeah.
But I came back in. I was eating one. I was like, "What?" I was like, "Hey, Justin took 3 of them." I was like, "I just got one." There's a ton. There's plenty of cookies. I checked them this morning.
No, I'm sure you did.
I checked them. I went over there and cleaned the kitchen. Checked the cookies.
Cleaned out the cookies.
There's plenty of cookies left for her. Now, peanut brittle, can't say the same for that.
I didn't even know there was peanut brittle.
Well, now you won't be able to enjoy any peanut brittle. There's actually still a little bit left if you want some.
How much is a little bit?
There's actually quite a bit left in the bag.
Okay.
But that's besides the point. But I remember making those cookies for the Christmas. And, we would leave cookies out for Santa Claus.
Yeah.
But I remember being so hung up on the fact that we left those Ritz cookies out, those Ritz almond bar cookies out for Santa. And I woke up and where we put like 3 of them out there. He took a bite out of one, put it back, and then drank all the milk. And then I was like, and I went and inspected it. Because, Santa's been in this house.
Yeah.
So, like, I want to eat after Santa. I want to see if there's any milk left over. I might drink after him just to have, like, some weird connection.
Lick the glass.
Poured it all over myself. But I was so hung up on the fact that he didn't finish all the cookies.
Yeah.
And I never, for whatever reason, I was, like, hung up on it. And I couldn't get over it. And I was like, Dad, I don't get it. I'm like, you didn't like these cookies? Like, these is like some great cookies.
This is a Hawthorne family staple.
I know. And Dad's like, well, he's busy, Chris. He's like, he travels around every house eating all these cookies. Like, you can't expect him to eat them all.
He's probably diabetic now, Chris.
But
he can't handle all that sugar.
I just remember being hung up on that. And I couldn't get past it. I always get hung up on one little thing, and I couldn't get over it.
We go into your bedroom. You've got one of those boards with the red lines going everywhere.
Yeah, that's how I was like.
Got Santa and cookies and milk and reindeer. Something ain't adding up.
This doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't he feed him to his reindeer? I remember Dad like sitting me down and talking to me about it. But anyway.
You and Chi-Chi trying to figure it out.
Oh, Shakita Marie. Rest in peace.
The Chi-Chi Detective Agency.
The Chi-Chi Detective Agency. For those of you that don't know, Chi-Chi is the name of our grandma's dog. Her full name was Shakita Marie, a.k.a. Chi-Chi.
Chi-Chi.
But this dog like lives in infamy. It'll like live forever in our minds.
Yeah. Eyes bulging out of her head.
It was like a cockeyed looking dog. Like, I love that dog.
I did too.
But the dog looked a little left up. No disrespect, but Chi-Chi.
Rest in peace, Chi-Chi.
Chi-Chi's buried in the yard.
I know. So is Trudy.
Trudy's buried in the yard too. Callie's buried in the yard. We got a whole freaking dog cemetery out there.
Trudy always reminded me of that dog from the Tom and Jerry movie that was riding the skateboard. Yeah. How big she was. Remember, she couldn't jump up on the bed because she's so big.
Remember, Grandma had to like carry her around some places.
Yeah, Grandma was like, "My back hurts." I'm like, probably because you were carrying around a 50-pound dog.
Yeah, that dog was probably at least 50 pounds,
and a healthy weight, probably 15 for that dog. Sweet dog.
That was a sweet dog. Shakita Marie, she had her moments. Hey, Kenzie's buried in that yard too.
Yeah,
We got 4 dogs buried in that freaking yard, or 3.
maybe more than that buried out there.
Who knows?
So, anyways, you're hung up on Santa and his cookies.
But that's a one memory I've got. What about you?
I'm not going to talk about you being a Scrooge at Christmas. I think that's already been talked about enough.
Well, it was one Christmas. I
Uh,
woke up a little cranky.
it was most Christmases.
No, it wasn't.
We have to wait around till noon so you could get up.
That was not the. That was for one Christmas, and it wasn't noon. But anyway, let's move on.
I tell you, I was trying to think of stuff, and there was one Christmas, uh, probably about 8 years ago, where it snowed, and I was at my in-laws in Bismarck, which is a little over an hour away from here. I remember looking at Hannah. I was like, it's starting to get kind of icy out there. We probably need to get going. We're about to open presents, then we'll go. Like, okay, it's starting to get kind of sketchy outside. So we open presents, and then I open up the door. I'm like, we got to get the heck out of here.
I remember this.
And then a normal hour, maybe a little over an hour trip was like a 3.5 hour trip home. And my kids were little.
Yeah.
And God bless mom and dad. They gave us some DVD players to put in our car for the kids for Christmas. And so I had movies playing for them. Otherwise, my kids would have been
freaking out,
flipping their wig. And we got in one little stretch. It's like a little normal 10 to 15 minute stretch where there's really no landmarks. There's nobody around. It took me an hour to go that 15 minutes. And I could only see 3 feet in front of the car. And I was just all over the road.
Nervous like a caged cat.
Yeah, it was horrible. And then I remember we were close to home, but the snow was 8 inches deep. And I was in my little car. I call Dad. I'm like, hey, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it. And they had a bigger SUV. I was like, do you mind coming to where I'm at? It was about, on a normal day, it's 15 minutes away from the house.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, so I can at least follow behind you.
Ryan was with Dad.
Yeah, and they were living it up, cruising around. I'm super tense, holding on to the steering wheel, and they're just just cruising.
I do remember that.
They're having the time of their lives.
Because I was going to go with them, but I couldn't go. So I guess there wouldn't have been enough room for everybody. Yeah, they were happy about it was just another adventure.
Yeah, I remember Ryan looked at Dad and he was like, oh, by the way, Mom said to get a gallon of milk while we're out. We're in the middle of a blizzard for here anyways.
Yeah, I mean, when it snows like this in the South, it is panic, instant panic, especially if it's going to stick on the roads like that. Everybody's flipping out.
Yeah, an inch of snow here is everything's shutting down.
And milk and bread, good luck if you want to find any of that. Yeah. You won't find a speck of milk and bread in the nearest 5 effing counties.
That's the most stressed out I've ever been, probably ever.
I imagine I would be stressed I would be stressed out by myself, but carrying my whole family, I would have been really nervous. I wouldn't have shown it though. I'd have been I got this.
Everybody else was asleep except for me. They passed out.
You were smoking cigarette after cigarette,
drinking coffee,
having the Alabama shakes.
Yeah,
I do remember that. I remember it being a little bit of a traumatizing experience for you.
It was rough,
but you made it. Now look at you. Now you can say you drove through a blizzard.
Probably not a blizzard anywhere else, but it was a blizzard here.
It was a freaking blizzard here.
I'm driving by. I see cars in the ditch. I'm like, man, that's gonna be me.
Yeah, praise God, it ain't you.
I was going up a hill and the car was like going like that. I'm like, oh no, I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
Ryan always with his one-liners. Hey, mom called and said she want to get us a gallon of milk.
Yeah,
But I got an actually memory about Ryan. We probably talked about this before, and we know we said we weren't going to talk about rye buns a whole lot. But I mean, this is probably not a bad story. This was during around Christmas when we had that ice storm. Well, and actually, I don't think it was an ice storm. It might have been a different time, but it snowed around that time during Christmas. Dad had asked Ryan to go out and collect a bowl of snow for ice cream.
yeah.
And then Ryan comes back in and with a bowl. The bowl's got sticks and leaves and stuff, junk in
Pine
it,
needles and
pine
dirt.
needle. Dad's like, "What the heck is this?" He's like, "It's a bowl of snow." He's like, "Get all these sticks and crap out of there and go get fresh snow." He's like, "What are you thinking?"
He's scooping it up off the ground.
Yeah, you went out there and that's what it's like. What are you thinking was gonna happen? Why don't you just get some off the truck? But I remember that. I was thinking, I laughed and I thought that was like the funniest thing. Do you also remember around that time uh, when it snowed like that? It was snow deep at that rock house,
Yeah.
and it was so. And I was a little guy, and it was so big I couldn't even walk in it, and I was just stuck and fell over. And then you and Ryan were just sitting there laughing at me.
Yeah, because it snowed like we got like a foot of snow, which is unheard of around here. And you were a little guy, and yeah, you can move around in it. We
It
were
was
having the time
rough.
of our lives,
Yeah, I was out there struggling.
and it makes me think of the ice storm that one year where it iced and then it snowed, ended up snowing on top of it, but the power was out for like 2 weeks. I remember we were storing all of our like frozen food outside
Yeah,
in ice chests, and we were like breaking ice off of stuff and putting it down in there to keep it cold.
I love that time though, especially being a kid, I having any responsibility. Sure, if
Yeah,
I was dad, I wouldn't have enjoyed.
actually I think Dad was like thriving. Remember he had like his little Coleman gas stove, and he was like cooking up a storm out there, trying to make sure he had that stuff cooked up. But of course, we loved that.
Yeah, we were like, yeah, I'll eat anything. Just
Yeah,
cook the whole kitchen. Why don't you?
it's like we got to cook this before it goes bad.
I love at nighttime. We were all laying down. The power's out, of course. And at this point, we didn't have a generator yet.
Yeah,
And you could hear the limbs breaking at night, just falling down on the ground. I love that.
yeah.
Dark, cold.
That's a memory that I'll always have. I mean, it was so we thankfully we had gas heat in that
Yeah.
house. But yeah, you could hear those limbs cracking and falling at night. It was a little eerie,
It
but
was
it was
spooky.
cool.
Spooky and like, but I love that stuff. I love spooky vibes. Nothing but breaking limbs and Virgin Mary candles all the way around.
Yeah, and it was Christmas Day when the power went out because I remember I just got we just had Christmas
Yeah.
and I had gotten a new game and I booted it up and played for like half an hour and that I could hear that ice falling and then bam, power was out.
Do you remember getting the generator? And we finally got one. And then we were like testing out, like, let's see what we can use and what we can't use. I remember, I think I had plugged in the 64 or something. And then as soon as we plug it in, it just goes like, dang it.
Well, heck, whenever we got that like going and had it all set up, I remember our cable was out, and we couldn't use the TV in the living room for our games, but the TV was out. So Mom let me hook up our N64,
Yeah, I remember that.
and she sat there and watched me play Zelda, Majora's Mask. I was like, "This is freaking awesome!" Never got to use because that was the nice TV.
Yeah, we're playing on the big TV, which was a old 25-inch piece of furniture box to bubble
Yeah,
television.
sometimes you gotta have a box TV. That was, it was a decorative item. Those TVs.
Yeah, it was a piece of furniture. I would love to have one of those again, like a bigger one that's souped up. Probably weighs 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, those sons of guns were heavy.
I remember, we had that TV for years. And I remember me and Dad going to pick up, at the time, it was a Walmart you lived in. You worked at in
Yeah,
Arkadelphia. Picked up a flat screen. We had that box TV for you. That's all we knew. That's all I knew.
yeah,
And we get this flat screen that's HD. And me and Dad were like, oh my gosh.
we made it.
Yeah, we're like, what have we been missing out on?
Yeah,
Like it's crystal clear. That was like the cheapest flat screen we could have gotten to.
yeah, because that old box TV, I remember the colors were so like washed out, like everything looked red
Yeah, it did.
on
It
it.
was weird. But that's all we knew.
Yeah, and then we had that. It finally went out, and Dad got that new TV. So we hit the big time. And I think
Because it was mounted. Like we bought a rack mount for it, mounted up against the wall. We were like, holy crap.
yeah,
I love moments like that. And now we're all spoiled.
like made me think of. I think I was 3, and for Christmas, me and Ryan got the NES, our original Nintendo console. And of course, that was a new thing at the time. And our TV we had that hooked up to had knobs still.
I remember that. I remember that
Had
TV.
I think it was Nana's old TV that had the chomp chomp chomp. It had like 13 channels you could change it to. I remember when we went from that to that TV VCR combo TV.
Yeah, I
We
remember that one
thought
too.
we were like we've hit the jackpot.
I see you boys. You hit the big time. Yeah, I remember that and freaking that VCR. I know when I was a kid, broke fairly early on.
Yeah, I remember your Rugrats tape got stuck in it.
Yeah, Ryan was testing it out. Took my Rugrats tape. I haven't even watched the movie yet. Brand new. Ryan knew, just trying to see if it would work, and it sucked that tape up, and that tape stayed in
Yeah,
there, and that it never came back out.
ate the tape and then wouldn't come out. It was done for.
Freaking Ryan.
You remember the Christmas where we got the Men in Black guns?
I do remember that Christmas. Probably one of my favorite childhood toys of all time.
It is the big Men in Black gun, and it had a little like door on it where
Yeah.
like an alien, little toy alien, sat inside of it. I remember us being outside acting like we were shooting spaceships out of the sky.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I remember going and getting it, pointing it right at mom and dad's head. That little, they had that red laser. It was like,
Yeah,
joints. They were like, I love it that your first idea is to come out and shoot us.
Merry Christmas, Chris.
But trying to think of some more Christmas memories. I know I had some stowed away.
You remember the remote control cars that we had that would like raise up so it could go off road,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
it could like flip over and still like go. I remember being outside, just going loving that car, ramping it off stuff.
I do remember that. Tell you what Christmas toy I loved. And it's a simple toy, but it was you had the red lightsaber. The Darth was it Darth
Darth
Maul?
Maul with like the 2 blades.
This is back when the prequels first
Yeah,
come out back in the day, and I had the Qui-Gon Jinn or whatever green lightsaber.
yeah,
So that was my favorite. He was my favorite character. But I remember going outside and I was playing lightsabers, beating plastic sticks together out there.
yeah.
But I thought that was the coolest toy.
Oh yeah,
I remember thinking as a kid, like, I wish it would light up, because at that it didn't light up just a green plastic stick.
yeah. You just like telescoped out. You like, whew,
But you'd always have to like grab it and like pull the rest of
yeah.
it out. But I remember thinking, like, I wish this thing glue in the dark, and now they do. And I always see kids play with those now. I'm like, man, it'd be cool to have one of those.
I remember another toy. It was similar to that when me and Ryan were little. It was He-Man swords,
Mm.
and it was like when you swung it, it would go clang clang. I remember it. There was a tree in the front yard, and me and Ryan just going a ham on that tree, just
Yeah.
beating the crap out of it, and Mom not being too happy about it. The freaking broke limbs and leaves and everything out there in the yard. We were out there just cha cha.
If digging pee holes and crap holes in the yard weren't bad enough, now we're taking probably expensive He-Man sword.
Making grappling hooks and hanging them from trees out of weed eating line.
Remember that time I was going to chop a tree down with my plastic bat?
Yeah,
I was out there just whacking this tree, knocking bark off. I never chopped it down, by the way.
yeah.
Never made it. Oh, good times, J Bug. Good times.
What out of all your Christmases, Chris? What was like the one item that you remember the most that you like wished for and finally got?
There's probably actually a few, but the first one that comes to mind was, and nobody's going to care about this, but we had the, I think it was the PlayStation 2.
Yeah,
And I don't know if we had just gotten the PS2 or maybe we had it for a couple years. But anyway, we were we were both huge fans of the college football, the NCAA football video
yeah,
games by EA Sports. And that's like the main thing that I wanted because I played like, well, growing up, that's all I played pretty much was NCAA football. And I remember that, that's his mom. Like, we gave our list to mom. It's like, I'll give this to Santa Claus and we'll see, she's like, tell me what you want the most. And I was like, I want this video game the most. And so, when you're a kid, like, they come in those rectangle cases, those thin rectangle. And I was
yeah,
looking at it, I was like, I don't see a rectangle case in there. I was like, I didn't get it. But you don't want to say anything. You don't want to be a douchebag kid. So you need to be
yeah,
grateful. But I remember mom told me she pointed at one that was like a super long thing. But I was like, she goes, open this last. And I didn't think it was it because it didn't match the shape.
yeah,
But anyway, I remember opening that up and she got it from Sam's Club. If you remember at that time, Sam's Club put in like those big teal boxes.
yeah. They had like some sort of weird extended box,
It was,
like cardboard box, and the game was like in the
yeah,
center of it.
weird packaging.
Yeah,
But I remember I opened that up and I was like, oh, and it was NCAA. Can't remember what version. It was that Chris Winkie was on the cover of it from Florida State. I remember that. But anyway,
I think that was '04.
but I remember being 2002.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what it was. But I remember being like, oh my gosh, like I got it. Like I was wanting to go play it immediately. What's yours?
Mine, mine. There again, there's several that are memorable, but I think the number one would be the Super Nintendo.
Mm, great
Yeah,
system.
love the NES, and we had the Sega Genesis. But man, I wanted that Super Nintendo so bad. And then we got it, and it came with Donkey Kong Country. That
Oh
was like the
yeah.
packing game. And at the time, Donkey Kong Country had those 3D graphics.
Yeah.
And like I remember hooking it up and being like, "Oh my gosh, look at this!
It's so realistic.
Looks like yeah, looks like a movie."
I also remember a video game, The Lion King for the Sega.
Yeah,
I was a huge Lion King fan, like most kids were back in the day. And I remember like wanting that video game bad. And then finally I got it. It was opened up for Christmas. I was so excited I want to go play it immediately. And as soon as I played it, didn't
yeah,
want to play it anymore. That is like one of the hardest video games of all time.
yeah. I remember couldn't like. I think it was like the second level. Couldn't get past it
It's
where
so
you're jumping on
difficult.
the giraffes and stuff.
I watch people now play through that and try to take no damage. And I'm like, I don't see how they're doing. I don't see how they're getting this far. That game was freaking tough.
Yeah, you were like 5 years
Yeah, I
old.
was a 5-year-old playing it, trying to figure it all out. I also remember now that we're on this video game thing. Do you remember you won the Xbox here at some little town drawing thing they had?
I didn't want an Xbox.
I thought you won an Xbox in the time drawing.
No, a friend of mine won an Xbox from Taco Bell. Taco
Okay.
Bell was doing some sort of promotion. He won an Xbox, so he had an extra one. And then he was like, "Anybody want to buy this?" He knew I love video games. He already had one. It's like, yeah, I'll sell it. I'm selling it. So mom and dad, or mom, bought it for us for Christmas. This was back during the summertime,
Yeah, we
and she
already
bought
knew
it.
about it.
She bought it for us for Christmas. It's like, this is your Christmas present. It's wait. You can't get it till Christmas, and it sat in the closet. We knew we had it.
Yeah, that's what was sucked. I brought that up to somebody the other day, and the video game Halo, because
Yeah,
she bought Halo with it, and Halo at the time, like that was a humongous deal. And with the
yeah.
new system, the new Xbox, it was a huge thing, and we knew it was up in mom and dad's closet, and we could not touch it until like in 6 months when you're a kid
Oh
is
yeah.
a century.
And I remember he gave it. I bought it. He gave it to me, and like the next weekend, or the weekend went by, and like that next Monday, he was like, "So what do you think of it?" I can't play it till Christmas.
We can't put.
He's like, "Do what?"
Yeah, I remember that was torture. 'Cause I was like, we all like the surprise is gone.
Yeah.
Like now, this is just the agony of just waiting.
Oh, but Christmas morning, it was ever so sweet.
Oh, dude, I remember that was like the after we opened up our crap and we already knew what we had
Yeah.
with that. We were like, we remember we plugged that in. We were like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
That was a good memory. Man, I guess mom knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
Making us wait, even though it was a difficult 6 months.
Yeah.
I've had a rougher 6 months than that.
Yeah. It was worth it in the end.
It was worth it. I like how my foot is super close to hitting you in the
Yeah.
dome.
Wish we resumed that a little bit so people could see how your get up you got going
I
on.
got quite the get up. Looks like I'm wearing underwear right
Yeah.
now. Oh, J Bug, J Bug. Walking down memory lane. Memories oh so sweet. Um, good to see you.
Nice seeing you.
I'm a drifter. You know me. I'm here, I'm there.
Always out tomcatting around.
I'm out here tomcatting around as usual, up to my shenanigans. Good shenanigans. Helping the community out when I can.
Lying through your teeth.
That's not true. Um, anything else you want to discuss?
I don't know. I think we've got it.
I mean, it's
I mean, it's Christmas time. It's weird. The older we get, the less and less it's feeling like Christmas.
I was gonna bring this up, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to ruin the holiday cheer. But like, I just have not for the past few years. I have not been in the Christmas spirit, the holiday spirit.
Yeah.
I'm just like, and it's sad. And I try to like, it really doesn't hit me until the day. And even when the day comes, it's not as the same as it was. Of course, it's never going to be the same as it was when you were a kid.
No.
But yeah, it feels weird. It's different. Of course, I get into we're adults now, so
See, like I think part of it is my kids are older, and it's not quite the same now.
do your kids still believe in
No,
they don't. That's probably too old to believe in that.
and like I don't know, just been so busy that you don't get to savor it.
I remember asking Dad one time. We were out. This was years ago. I was a younger kid. It was just me and him. I think we were out to be bopping around. But anyway, we were listening to the Charlie Brown Christmas song, and that's a good song. It's kind of like a sad sounding song too.
Yeah,
I remember like we were talking about people being sad on Christmas. I remember telling Dad, I was like, "How could you be sad on Christmas? Because Christmas is always my favorite holiday. I
yeah,
love Christmas." And Dad's like, well, it's like I could see it. Like once you get older, it's like you'll kind of understand how some people could be sad on Christmas. But now that I'm older, I kind of get it.
yeah.
Not saying that I'm sad on Christmas, but
Oh, I always get sad after Christmas just because it's over. I get
Christmas blues
the
suck.
Christmas blues.
And I can't handle watching anything Christmas related or seeing anything Christmas related and like after Christmas.
Oh
Like it
yeah, I
just
can't.
makes me so sad.
I can't either because it's over.
I used to we used to have Christmas shows recorded on the DVR, like Christmas Story. I would go to the very ending of that, watch the opening and the ending, just to soak that nostalgia in one last time and be like, okay, I won't see you for another year.
Yeah, because like to me, that ending of A Christmas Story, where they're sitting there with the lights off, the Christmas tree lights are on, and it's that snow with that
Yeah,
music playing. That is a perfect encapsulation of Christmas.
I think so too. Do they still show that 24 hours a day?
I think they do.
See that's a tradition right there. Like, and I know people that hate that. Uh, but in the way we grew up watching that, it was just always on.
Yeah, it'd be on for 24 hours, and you just have it playing in the background.
Yeah, man. Let's wait. We got a whole day of festivities planned. Pizza, nachos, jalapeno popper dip that Dad's not going to let me make.
Pizza nachos, regular nachos.
Regular nachos. Yeah, let's tell the people what we're having on the docket here.
We've got pizza nachos, regular nachos, sandwiches,
Sandwich stuff, yeah, I guess.
cookies. I don't know what else
Dip.
we got. What's Ryan bringing?
Oh, we're what is Ryan? I think Ryan's bringing cheeses and
Ryan's bringing an appetite this year.
I think cocktail weenies. We're always having that. Trying to think of what else. I saw a pack of sausage out when I was cleaning the kitchen this morning.
There's a random pack of sausage.
Well, here's the thing: is what I didn't realize is I was washing dishes because there's a lot of stuff to clean up. They've been cooking stuff. I was like, I'll clean the kitchen for
You've
you.
been cooking up a storm.
I haven't. They did. I just showed up late at night. And I was like, I better clean the kitchen before they. Anyway, trying to do a good thing for Christmas. Have a clean slate. When I was washing dishes, I was like, I had the hot water going in one. I was washing them in the thing and I was rinsing them out and whatever. And I didn't realize that there was a pack of sausage that I had running under the hot water.
Yeah.
It was completely warm. And I was like, oh God. So I was like, I don't know what I need to do. Should I tell? I'll just put it in the refrigerator.
Oh gosh.
So beware the sausage this Christmas. If there's any being made, I don't know.
Chris, while you're telling this enthralling story, I had something dawn on me.
What?
You know what your shirt reminds me of?
What?
Alicia Silverstone's jacket from Clueless.
It does, don't it? It really does. I never even realized that until now.
I don't know what made me think of it, but I was looking at it, and that's what I thought of.
Hey, she was a babe. I'm happy about this now. But yeah, really, this is the same type of pattern.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
the same pattern.
Shout out to Alicia Silverstone. Hey, I actually follow her on social media.
Surprise, surprise.
I don't know why I like her so much, but I guess I know why I like her a lot.
We all know why you like
But she
her.
just seems like a cool chick.
Yeah.
Like just a down to earth, be cool to hang out with. But anyway, that's all besides the point.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas from the Hawthorne Brothers. Merry Christmas from the Heavyset podcast. It's been a while. You'll see us again sometime. Listen, we may not be consistent with this podcast. Probably don't have anybody tuning in anymore, but it doesn't matter. As long as there's breath in our bodies, the Heavyset podcast will still continue in some form or fashion.
Even when we're senile old men.
Yeah, we'll still be coming around, talking nonsense.
Twice a year.
No, yeah, twice a year. Nobody watches. We're 3 years in. And we only have this many episodes.
What episode is this?
Hell, Justin, I don't know. I'll have to check.
40? We haven't even hit 40 yet.
I think we've hit 40. I really don't know. I have to look. I don't pay attention. As always, go down. What did I say? If you want to contact us, go to the email I haven't checked in months, the heavysetpodcast at gmail.com.
Facebook page.
The Heavyset Podcast Facebook group. Our TikTok page. Hasn't been anything posted on anything in a while, but maybe we'll get some content, some clips out of this. YouTube channel. Go subscribe to the Heavyset Podcast YouTube channel. And That's about it. What do you got?
Merry Christmas, everybody. Get out there and
That's
just cherish this time with your family,
a good point.
because I know I will.
Merry Christmas, guys. Enjoy your day. Love you guys. Love whoever watches this. And enjoy your family. Enjoy the people. Grab them, hug them, kiss them. Don't slip them the tongue. And I had to make things weird.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. I love you guys. This has been the Heavyset Podcast.